King Menes, also known as Narmer, is one of the most legendary figures in ancient Egyptian history, credited with uniting Upper and Lower Egypt into a single kingdom around 3100 BCE. While much of his life is cloaked in myth, the historical evidence suggests that Menes established the first dynasty and set the foundation for ancient Egypt's remarkable civilization. Below is a detailed exploration of his life, achievements, and legacy. Background: Early Egypt and the rise of city-states. Before Menes, Egypt was divided into two main regions: Upper Egypt in the south and Lower Egypt in the north, both marked by distinct cultures, kings, and city-states. Upper Egypt was characterized by the Nile Valley, stretching from Aswan to modern-day Cairo, while Lower Egypt occupied the Nile Delta region. The two regions developed their own religious practices, deities, and political structures. However, by around 3300 BCE, trade routes, shared religious symbols, and growing rivalries between cities gradually brought the two regions closer together, paving the way for unification. The rise of Menes, Narmer. The identity of Menes has long been a subject of debate among historians and Egyptologists. He is often associated with Narmer, a pharaoh whose name appears on the famous Narmer palette. Discovered in Hierakonpolis, the Narmer palette is a ceremonial stone slab showing a king wearing both the crowns of Upper and Lower Egypt, symbolizing the unification of the two lands. Narmer is depicted wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt on one side of the palette and the red crown of Lower Egypt on the other side, indicating his rule over both regions. Though some scholars argue that Menes and Narmer were separate kings, the majority agree that they were likely the same person or closely related figures. Whether known as Menes or Narmer, this ruler was undoubtedly instrumental in forging a unified Egypt. Unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. The unification of Egypt is one of the pivotal events in ancient history. According to legend, Menes led an army from Upper Egypt northward, defeating the forces of Lower Egypt in a decisive battle. This victory brought the two lands under a single ruler, laying the foundation for a centralized government that would oversee the entire Nile Valley. As a symbol of this unity, Menes, Narmer adopted the double crown, combining the white crown of Upper Egypt and the red crown of Lower Egypt. This crown became a potent symbol of Egyptian kingship for millennia. The reasons behind Menes's campaign for unification are not entirely clear, but they likely included a desire to control vital trade routes and resources. Unification allowed for a more efficient system of taxation, administration, and defense, making Egypt one of the most powerful states of its time. Founding Memphis, the birth of an empire after uniting Egypt, Menes is credited with founding Memphis, a city strategically located at the point where Upper and Lower Egypt met. According to tradition, Menes ordered the construction of a massive dam to divert the Nile River, creating land on which he built his new capital. Memphis became the political and administrative center of ancient Egypt, with a vibrant court life, elaborate temples, and bustling trade networks. Memphis symbolized the union of Upper and Lower Egypt and became a powerful political and religious center. It housed the royal palace, administrative buildings, and temples dedicated to the gods Ptah, Sekhmet, and others. The establishment of Memphis marked the beginning of Egypt's transformation into a centralized state, with Menes overseeing an administration that could levy taxes, mobilize labor, and enforce laws across the kingdom. Menes as a religious leader in ancient Egypt, the pharaoh was not only a political leader but also a religious figure with a divine role. Menes is believed to have promoted the worship of the god Horus, who was associated with kingship and was often depicted as a falcon. In the Egyptian tradition, the pharaoh was considered a living god, the earthly embodiment of Horus. By embracing this role, Menes established a divine legitimacy for his rule, a concept that would be central to Egyptian kingship throughout its history. Religious symbolism played a key role in uniting Egypt. By promoting the worship of shared deities and constructing temples that honored these gods, Menes encouraged loyalty among his subjects and fostered a sense of national identity. His reign laid the groundwork for a system in which religion and state were intertwined, with the pharaoh acting as a mediator between the gods and the people. Economic achievements and trade. Under Menes, Egypt experienced significant economic growth, driven by the development of agriculture, trade, and crafts. The Nile River provided fertile soil, allowing for the cultivation of wheat, barley, and flax. With a unified government overseeing irrigation projects and grain storage, Egypt could sustain a large population and support a growing workforce. Trade networks expanded during Menses' reign, connecting Egypt to regions as far away as the Levant, Nubia, and possibly even Mesopotamia. Egyptian traders exchanged goods such as gold, copper, and papyrus for luxury items like timber, incense, and lapis lazuli. This trade brought wealth into Egypt and exposed the kingdom to new ideas and technologies. Menses' reign set the stage for Egypt's emergence as a wealthy and influential state. Cultural and artistic contributions. The unification of Egypt ushered in a period of cultural flourishing. Under Menes, artists developed new styles of pottery, sculpture, and jewelry, drawing on traditions from both Upper and Lower Egypt. The narmer palette itself is one of the earliest examples of Egyptian art, with detailed carvings that depict Menses' victory and symbolize the harmony between the two regions. Writing also began to take root during this period, with early hieroglyphs appearing on pottery and stone. These symbols evolved into a complex writing system that would become central to Egyptian administration, religion, and culture. Menses' reign marks the beginning of recorded Egyptian history, with inscriptions and artifacts providing glimpses into the early days of the First Dynasty. Death and legacy. The exact circumstances of Menses' death are uncertain, and legends surrounding his demise vary. According to the Greek historian Herodotus, Menes was attacked and killed by a hippopotamus while hunting. However, this account is likely mythological, as ancient Egyptians often associated the hippopotamus with the god Set, who symbolized chaos and destruction. Menses' death, whether from natural causes or in battle, marked the end of an era but set a powerful precedent for future pharaohs. Menses' legacy lived on through the dynasties that followed. He was remembered as the founder of the Egyptian state, a unifier who brought order and prosperity to the land. Later kings often looked to Menes as a model, emphasizing their own role in maintaining the unity and stability he had achieved. His role as the first king of a united Egypt became a symbol of national pride and was celebrated in religious texts and royal inscriptions. Historical significance and modern legacy. The legacy of Menes, narmer, resonates even today, as he is considered the first ruler of one of history's most remarkable civilizations. The unification of Egypt laid the foundation for the Old Kingdom, a period of immense architectural and cultural achievement, including the construction of the pyramids. The institutions Menes established, from the centralized government to the divine status of the pharaoh, shaped Egyptian society for over 2 millennia. Modern archaeological discoveries, such as the narmer palette and various tombs and inscriptions, continue to provide insight into Menses' life and the early years of Egyptian history. Although some aspects of his story remain shrouded in mystery, Menes is firmly established as one of the most important figures in Egypt's ancient past, a symbol of unity and innovation whose legacy endures. Conclusion. King Menses' life and achievements represent the beginning of Egypt as a powerful and unified state. Through his military prowess, political acumen, and religious leadership, Menes transformed a land of divided regions into one of the ancient world's greatest civilizations. His reign marked the start of the First Dynasty, the dawn of Egyptian history, and the beginning of a legacy that would last thousands of years. Now you know who was he. If you truly respect and like him, just hit the like button, and also if you love this type of real history, just click the subscribe button. Now let's take a leave and again meet at another interesting real-life history of Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor. Up to that time, goodbye. Have a nice day, my friend.